You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your website, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Hardin. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at rahardin.com. That's the World Wide Web at rahardin.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Hardin to see and purchase his books.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
America, welcome to the America Off the Rails show. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We're about to get this thing kicked off. Now, I have a very special announcement. Over the weekend of CPAC, I actually got to sit down with one of my favorite comedians of all time, Mr. Evan Sayed. As soon as we get back from the first break, we are going to kick that interview off. What do you say we get the show started right about now? As we collect our thoughts, so don't blink when you wanna come across the border. Take a look around and come test the water. We won't stop till we see the morning. So welcome to the quiet before the storm hits. Turn on the ignition, everybody come on, come on. Turn on the ignition, turn on the ignition, everybody come on, come on. Turn on the ignition, turn on the ignition. All right, folks, welcome back. This is America Off the Rails. I know we didn't really go anywhere, but it's kind of a habit when I hear that music. If we play it on the way out, I say we're going away. If I play it on and then we're coming back in, I say welcome back. All right, so anyway, lots to talk about tonight. We're going to start off with a couple of announcements first. First of all, I want to give a shout-out to the affiliates because it's been a while since I've done it at the beginning of the show. So I want to welcome AMFM247.com every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Want to welcome SHR Media every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Also want to welcome Red Nation Rising Radio, the Liberty Channel, every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern. And one of the newer affiliates, the Lanterns Radio Network, who actually had the pleasure of meeting a lot of the crew while we were at CPAC. We're there every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern. And, of course, we're on crntalk.com every Saturday and Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific. And, of course, the home station, last but not least, klrnradio.com, where liberty and reason still reign. Glad to be back with you guys. It's been kind of an off week for us because I've been recovering from trying to do commando-style radio at CPAC, dealing with fires at the day job, etc. However, it's great to be back. This is actually going to be one of the first shows we've done since CPAC that actually has some of the footage that we got from CPAC. So when we come back from the first break, we'll have Evan Sayet with us actually discussing his new DVD that's coming out through Amazon here pretty quickly. He didn't actually mention a release date, and I didn't think to ask. I looked right before we went on air. It's still not posted yet. However, if you follow along with me on Twitter, as soon as I know it's there, I'm going to tweet it out like crazy because he actually took the time to sit down with us and do an interview, so I want to make sure that does really, really well. For those of you who may not know, Evan wrote a book before he did the DVD, and it's Kindergarten of Eden, How the Modern Liberal Thinks. Now, if you'd like to get an idea about what it is that Evan's about, you can always go to Amazon and actually order the book. Right now, they have it on sale. It's $11.99 for paperback. So, and if you want the Kindle edition, it's $9.99. And, of course, as soon as we know the DVD posts, we're going to start putting links out about it. Because, the folks that sit down and take the time to do interviews with us, we want to treat them right. And actually, he happens to be one of my all-time favorite comedians. I have to say one of now, because I actually finally got to meet Michael Loftus, too, who's actually a really funny guy. But Evan, I actually knew Evan before I knew Michael. So, anyway. So, lots of things to talk about in the news. We'll, of course, be talking about some of that when we come back, too. But on that note, it is about time for us to get the first break out of the way. So, without further ado, when we come back, we'll have the interview that we did with Evan Sayet. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be back in about 60 seconds.
The men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Robinson coming to you live from CPAC 2017, KLRNradio.com, booth number 22. I am joined by my Friday night co-host, Mr. Dan Wright. We do Robinson and Wright together. He also does Constitution and Culture with Susan Swift. We have a very special guest with us today. We have Mr. Evan Sayet, who I finally got to meet in person yesterday. However, JD and Stacy have talked you up a storm, sir. How are you?
I am well, and actually I'm thrilled to be on with you guys, so... Mutual Admiration Society.
Hey, it works for me. I'll take admiration anywhere I can get it. Just ask my wife. All right. So anyway, one of the reasons we have you on is I know that you have just put out a new book. So
actually, my book has been out for a little while. It's called The Kindergarten of Eden.
Oh, that's right.
How the Modern Liberal Thinks. I've got a new DVD, which is my stand-up comedy, and go ahead and think of it as my HBO special that HBO will not air. And I said to I proposed this to Showtime, and they said to me point blank, this would probably be the highest rated special in our, my fans are calling, just bad, so sorry, so unprofessional. But Showtime said to me this would probably be the highest rated special in our entire history. We cannot and will not air this because of the content. Because it's conservative, they said it would damage our brand.
Wow.
Yep.
The
fact that they don't even hide it. The fact that they don't even, they could easily say, you know what, I don't find it that funny. Whatever, but not at all. They said, this is great. This would be a huge, but nope.
So anybody out there who is conservative, who has an idea for a channel like HBO or Showtime, you might want to get on that, because apparently there might be a market that they're not willing to touch.
I got to tell you, there's a lot more of us in Hollywood than people know. There's actually an organization, and I can talk about it because we went from secret to private. We were secret because you really can and do lose work in Hollywood if they know that you're conservative. And so it's a collection of about 3,000 of us who are conservatives who work in showbiz. Not just who want to be in showbiz. We're talking about, we've got movie stars like Gary Sinise and John Voight. We've got directors, we've got producers, we've got actors, we've got grips, we got everything we need, and we're actually making product. And one of the products that we made is my stand-up comedy video. This was directed by a rather famous director named Lionel Chetwynd. So we are putting things together now, and we don't even need Showtime. It would be nice, but we don't need them.
So Wow, to be big enough to tell Showtime, yeah, we don't need it. I dream for that day.
Well, I have to thank God that Al Gore invented the internet when he did, because we can now publicize where we couldn't before, right, through Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat and
you got a point. I mean, we wouldn't even be doing what we're doing right now if not for the internet. I'm not going to credit Al Gore, but
even other technologies as well. You know, you used to need Hollywood to make movies because they were so expensive and difficult to make. Just a camera was $100,000, $150,000. Now you use your telephone. Right? And then to promote or to distribute your film, you literally had to make film. It was a physical thing that you put in a projector, and you had to make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of copies to get them out to all the theaters. Now you can digitally download. So it's getting to the point where we really don't need Hollywood anymore.
No, I mean, you look at our end. I mean, most of our promotion is done on Twitter and Facebook,
right?
And it's free. We have our own show accounts, and then we have our own accounts,
and you can target.
We can network it.
You can network it. You can target so that your rate of success. For me, that would mean selling tickets to my show, or selling a copy of my book, or selling a copy of my DVD. It is so easy to target exactly who your fans are, who you already know, who know you, and then when you have your next project, boom, hit them again.
Absolutely.
It's been amazing to me the way the technology has changed, even within the last couple of years. I mean, honestly, like Facebook Live, we were talking about this last night, Dana and I, because, I mean, you come around and Facebook Live has like 5 booths worth of real estate, and they're a brand new thing. But, I mean, it's totally changed the face of how things get done. Everybody around here that has a decent cell phone provider or can actually make the internet around here work.
Which is amazing, because we're in the most amazing hotel complex in all of human history, and the internet sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the thing, because, you know, we had an issue, we had a snafu yesterday, so our booth space fell through. So we were going to run around and do some Facebook Live stuff, and I'm like, man, I can't get the wireless to work. My cell phone signal sucks. I tried like 12 times to do Facebook Live, just kind of walking around to try to put stuff out to our Facebook page, and it wasn't working. And I'm like, you guys have like a 5-booth thing in here, and I can't make your stuff work. One of the most expensive hotels probably in the area. And
absolutely. This whole place, this whole island was built for no other reason than this convention center. And then everything else grew up around it. For me, the technology that changed everything, because I gave a lecture to the Heritage Foundation 10 years ago this week. I actually came to CPAC and then gave my talk to the Heritage Foundation. And fortunately, because there were only 8 people in the room at the time, so who the hell was I? But fortunately, someone had a camera, and they loaded it up and uploaded it to YouTube, where it now has well over 1 million views. And so it was YouTube that allowed me the publicity, the name recognition that has fueled everything that followed.
Well, that's with a guest earlier today. I had mentioned Austin Peterson, and his whole campaign, his whole presidential campaign, which to me was successful. He really gained a huge following. Was doing YouTube Live,
right?
And what was great about it is you were able to interact with him to a certain extent.
Right.
So he would go on and he would do almost like a town hall for himself.
A town hall in your hand.
Right.
That's actually a good marketing slogan for them, town hall in your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
And it costs nothing compared to what campaigns, there's too much money and you can't get known without. Yes, you can. Yes, you can now through the various media.
Yeah, you just have to learn how to work the new tools. I mean, and
that's my problem. I don't know how to do anything.
Well, I do, but don't tell my wife that, because she likes to yell at me all the time for all the things I don't know how to do. But I'm starting to think that's just part of their genetics. All right, so as far as the title of this new DVD,
it's Evan Say It, A Deplorable Mind. I think that says it all. It's my, back when I was still on the left, I wrote for Bill Maher. I wrote Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher for 6 years. When I had my epiphany, let's just call it that for convenience, and I became a conservative, I said, what talent can I bring to this culture war? And it was readily obvious we don't have a Bill Maher for the right. And so I became that person, and obviously I know how to write political material. It's just changing some names, and now I am, in fact, Bill Maher for the Right, and this video is my hour-long HBO special that HBO won't air.
You should have done that as a subtitle.
Right? Well, I'm smart enough to use it as a tagline as I go up and down Radio Row.
It's too bad that's so long. We have a good group. We probably could have got that hashtag trending for you, but that's too long.
We'll find something else. Just haven't say it deplorable.
That might work. I don't know. I'm kind of... I mean, I understand the concept, and I know the marketing you did there. I'm spending so much time on social media, I've started to ignore anybody that still has the word deplorable in there.
Truly.
I mean, it's just like, you know what? You won. It's over. It's that, and there's all these Trump accounts now.
So let me get this straight. I'm a guest on your show, and you're insulting the title of my latest project.
No. Not entirely. But come on. All right, anything else you want to let folks know?
No, they should buy my book, The Kindergarten of Eden, How the Modern Liberal Thinks. They should buy my DVD, Evan Sayed of Something, Something, Something Mind. It's Evan Sayed of Deplorable Mind, and it's a great title. And,
no, it is a great title.
It's a great title. I mean, come on, it was probably in the works before all this happened. I'm just saying.
Well, look, you need something that tells the audience what it is. All right, I didn't want to say Evan Sayed, a conservative comedian. I think, and I think it mocks the left because they really meant for that to be insulting, and we've taken it and we've embraced it. Maybe too much.
Not too much, so much, you say?
No, this is the last right one. Anybody else who uses deplorable after this is just an idiot.
So no deplorable mind too, I think.
No, it'll be Evan Sayed Mind.
A brilliant mind.
I like that. People say I'm brilliant. They do. They say it all the time.
All right, Evan, it has been a pleasure, sir. I'm going to let you get back to enjoying the rest of the CPAC. Thank you for taking the time to sit down with us
My
today.
pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Just wanted to remind you that Evan Sayed's DVD, A Deplorable Mind, actually releases on Amazon here in the next few days. Make sure you're checking back for when it actually launches so you can go pick one up. I mean, come on. It's time to shoot the lock off the wallet, folks. We've got a really good conservative comedian who actually didn't even seem to mind the fact that I didn't really mean to, but I kind of made fun of the title of his DVD. And he still sat down with us for a few more minutes to finish the interview. He's actually talking about coming back with us when he tours, so that would be awesome to have him back on again. So yeah, just keep checking Amazon. And like I said, if you're following along with us on Twitter, once we know it's out, we will start putting links out everywhere, because we definitely want that. That's one of the things that I think we really need to start doing. We need to find ways to support the conservatives among us that are trying to do things that are good for our movement. Finding ways to make people understand the conservatives know how to be funny too is a very good thing. That's one of the things that Evan Sayed's been really good at. It's one of the things that Michael Loftus has been trying to do now for a while. And I think it's important that we show not only that we have a funny side, but that we support the people that are starting these projects, because, like he said, when somebody as big as Showtime looks at your stuff and says, hey, this would be really cool, but since it's conservative, nah, not so much. That's when it's proof that it's time to do something different, because that means there's an entire market out there that isn't being addressed. And it's because Hollywood has had the market cornered on all this stuff for so long. And he's right. A lot of it is changing now because of technology. Because now it's really easy and inexpensive to put things out there. What used to cost a small fortune now doesn't. Now, thanks to social media and things like YouTube, you have the ability to mass produce and distribute anything that you want. And it's one of the things that has become a driving force for change in this country, both good and bad. The left has gotten really good at using these tools, and we are behind in so many ways. And folks like Evan Sayed and Michael Loftus and all of these other pioneers of the electronic age as far as comedy, stand-up comedy material, and all the other things that they're trying to do to show that not only are conservatives funny, but that we enjoy good comedy. Those things are important. So when you see work like that, make sure you support it. Even if it's, if you find somebody that's got a GoFundMe page or whatever, throw them a couple of bucks here and there. Buy a DVD once in a while. Buy a book. Just show them that their work matters to you. Because it should matter. Because we have a lot of the same goals in mind. We want people to understand that our ideas are not outdated. They're not old. They're not falling by the wayside. What we're actually trying to do is basically make America, not to steal Trump's line, but make America great again. I've never really once ever thought America stopped being great. But when you have a group like Showtime that's like blatantly just like, yeah, no, F you, you're conservative, that's obviously a problem. And it should be a problem. And it should concern everyone. Because we're talking about people's rights and free speech that are being trampled upon, all because they don't fit with a narrative. We're talking about people's ability to produce for themselves a livelihood that is being stifled, all because people may not agree with their narrative. I have a problem with that. I really do. It's just like, I'm not asking anyone to not support Michael Moore if that's what you believe in. But if it's not what you believe in, then by all means, don't support him. But that doesn't mean to shut him down completely. He still has the right to say the things that he wants to say. He still has the ability to put out the documentaries that he wants to put out. But somebody like Evan Sayed is told, yeah, no, since it's conservative, find another way to get it done. So, I'm actually glad that he did find another way to get it done. But believe it or not, we're already at the bottom of the hour, so we've got to take another really quick break. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We will be back here in about 4 minutes or so.
The following message is a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Having a place to go after school will make you a better student. Having an outlet to express yourself will make you a better artist. Having something to do together will make you a better family. At the Y, we're helping build better friends, listeners, writers, swimmers, scientists, and musicians, one chance at a time. Give the gift of opportunity. Support the Y at ymca.net. The Y, for a better us.
All right, folks, we are back. We are live, already into the second half of the show. Now we're going to change gears and talk about some of this crazy reaching from the left. Because, you know, they've been making this big deal about all these, this Russian involvement, etc., and how so many people that are involved in the Trump cabinet or associated with his administration have been secretly meeting with Russians. Well, it turns out Democrats have been meeting with Russians for much, much longer, yet nobody talked about that. And, of course, there's this newest thing that everybody is all up in arms about because apparently Vice President Pence, while he was governor of Indiana, was using a private email service, and that service may or may not have been hacked. But see, the difference is there's a difference, and nobody's talking about that difference. Similar to previous governors during his time as governor of Indiana, Mike Pence maintained a state email account and a personal email account, Pence's office said in a statement. Indiana law does not prohibit public officials from using personal email accounts. After Pence was hacked in June by a scammer who sent a plea for money to his email contacts, the governor set up a new AOL account. So, we're comparing apples and oranges here, but again, it's just one of those things where right now the Democrats are frantically throwing everything they can at a wall just to try to make something stick, because they're watching their whole party implode. They're watching everything they've tried to build fall apart. They're so desperate now at this point, they are putting out commercials of Hillary Clinton with a softener lens on her face to make her look younger. Look, you've seen the commercial. I know you have, so pay close attention, because you'll notice if you look real close, there is a glow around her face. And I promise you, she's ancient, so it's not a glow from her being pregnant. It's because they've used a lens filter on this particular commercial to make her look younger, because it softens her facial features, because they have already decided that she was robbed, so they're going to run her again in 2020. Now, stop laughing, because I'm serious. They decided that she was robbed, so they're going to run her in 2020, and they're going to do everything they can to make sure that she gets to run in 2020. And one of the ways that they're going to do that is to try to make her look more young and vibrant than she actually is, so that she is still a viable candidate in 4 years. Hey, I told you, stop laughing. I'm serious. This is what these people think. Seriously. They honestly think that she was robbed. So what they're doing now is they're trying to throw everything they can at the wall just to see what sticks. It's not going to work. Honestly, because most of us don't care anymore, because they've cried wolf so many times, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's true or not true anymore. We're tired of hearing them. This is what happens when you cry racism, homophobia, sexism, chauvinism, every other kind of ism, over and over and over again, and then it's the Russians' fault, it's the Russians' fault, it's the Russians' fault. People stop listening to you. And this is what has the Democrats fully up in arms right now, because nobody's listening to them anymore. The only people that are listening to them anymore are the ones that are so deeply entrenched in leftist ideology that they can't see a way out of it. What has them scared, and the reason why right now they're throwing everything they can at the wall, and part of what has them scared is the same thing that has me scared. There were plenty of Democrats that loved Trump's speech the other night because he was saying a lot of things that sounded like it's something that a Democrat would say. Paid maternity leave? Seriously? We're going to find a way to fund that now? Healthcare for everybody? We're going to find a way to fund that now too, I guess? Never mind the fact that we're trillions of dollars in the hole, and of course I tried to point this out while live tweeting during his speech in front of the joint session, and of course I was called names whether I was supporting him or not supporting him, because if I supported him, you're just nothing but a Nazi, and if I didn't support him, it's time to get on board the train, Rick. This is over. He's president, and we got to support him now. No, we don't. We should, and I still do. I'm not rooting for him to fail, but I am going to try to point out when I think he's gone too far to the left. And one of the scariest things that keeps being repeated to me lately is the fact that he's not really the one that's gone too far to the left. All of politics seems to have shifted left. The Democrats have gone hard left, the Republicans have gone soft left, and they're pretty much left of center now. And those of us that are basically more right of center are standing over here going, how did we get there, and what are we going to do to fix it, because I don't like where my country's headed right now. Now, plenty of things that he said in the speech I liked. I liked the patriotism. I liked the attention to detail when it came to recognizing the fallen Navy SEAL. I liked the fact that he took the time to do those things. I don't necessarily like the fact that he used the speech as a platform to do that. I think there was a more respectful way to do it, but I don't fault him for doing it because it's been going on now for quite some time. But for the left to talk about how the spouse of that fallen hero was used as a prop is asinine. The left used props all the way through the campaign. The left used props all the way through Bush 43's presidency. Cindy Sheehan was a prop used by the left to try to drum up support for their anti-war movement. Never mind the fact that they voted for the war before they decided they were against the war. Never mind that, these same people that are like, oh my God, Trump just used a grieving widow as a prop. They just finished using a soldier's father as a prop in the DNC convention. I'm confused. Why is one okay and not the other? This whole tit-for-tat game that the Republicans and the Democratic Party are playing now is insane, and it needs to stop. It's not okay just because the other side did it first. That's like this asinine argument with Kelly Conway having her feet on the couch in the Oval Office. Yes, it's disrespectful to be in what is an historical monument to and of itself, and yet to have your feet on the furniture. But at the same time, the left, who is completely incensed over her having her feet on the couch, didn't say a word about Obama putting his feet on the desk repeatedly. Now, the right is all of a sudden okay with Kelly putting her feet on the couch, but they had a cow with Obama putting his feet on the desk repeatedly. You can't have it both ways. People who live in glass houses should not throw stones. This is something that our politicians need to remember. Yes, it's great, and it was a good media headline, and it got a lot of conservatives angry when they've got pictures of Obama leaning with his hands behind his head, propped up, and got his feet on the desk, and he's just sitting there like he owns the place. Which I hate to tell you, but for that 4-year time span, and what eventually became an 8-year time span, he did own the place. So it was kind of his to do with as he chose. Sorry, my redneck was showing there for a moment. But that's my point. People in glass houses should not throw stones. Our politicians need to remember this lesson. Because yes, it was great. It made for great headlines when the conservatives were mad because Obama was putting his feet on a desk. And no, I don't think he should have done it either. And yes, I made a big deal about it at the time, but I'm also one of the ones making a big deal about Kellyanne Conway because of the fact that I made a big deal about this at the time. Because if we're going to call out the faults of the other side, we can't let our faults go when the same general type of thing that we were just complaining about a few short years ago happens again. Now, I'm not saying throw Kelly under the bus. I'm not saying she needs to be removed from the Trump administration. I actually like the fact that Kellyanne Conway, as a woman, for all these people that are talking about this whole women's movement thing and this menstrual equality crap or whatever the heck else they're talking about now this week, Kellyanne Conway actually was the first woman in history to successfully run a presidential campaign and run it to the point where there was a victory. And nobody's talking about that because she's not a leftist woman. So to them, she's not a woman. Well, I got news for the left, and most of your feminist women, we don't consider them women either because they don't look like women. They look like Russian bodybuilders on steroids. Sorry, it's the truth. So, double standards work both ways. But so does this issue where one side does something and you call them out. It's a really bad idea to do pretty much the same thing to a lesser extent when it's your turn at the table. Because it's bad form to get completely upset over one thing and then turn around and people realize that you've done much the same thing. Oh, wait, this feeds directly into something else. The Russian email or the Russian hacking situation and the so-called Russian involvement for the Trump administration and all the other things that are smacking of so-called Russian involvement. Guess what? Take a guess. Social media literally exposed. Got distracted. Social media literally exploded today with recount after recount of Democrats meeting with Russian officials in one form or another. All over the place. And yet everybody seems to be okay with that. I'm not okay with it. I wasn't okay with it when I thought there might have been a connection between the Trump administration and the Russians, but every time I look into it, all I find is a bunch of people having a literal meltdown over something that seems to be much ado about nothing. And yet these same people that have been throwing a fit it's now coming to light that a lot of them have done much the same thing that they were complaining about the Trump administration doing. But it's okay, because it's your side that did it, right? For those of you on the left, it's not a problem, right? Because it's your side. You know, that's the same thing that you've been screaming to a lot of folks on the right. Well, you just don't care because it's your guys' team doing it now and you think it's okay now. No, I don't care, because no matter how hard I try to find information on it, I can't find a solid connection. All I find is smoke and mirrors. All I find is information propped up by the Obama administration on the way out the door to try to solidify the so-called Russian involvement in our election. You know, the same president and the same administration that told us our election system was secure and it can't be hacked and there's no way for an outside influence to affect it, basically recanted everything they said on the way out the door. So which was true? What he said before or what he said on the way out the door? Because that's my question with all of this. If someone is going to blatantly lie to that extent about something like that, then when are we supposed to know, and how are we supposed to know when or if they're telling the truth? Ever again. All right, so I just realized that I went on a really long rant, and we are long on this segment, so I've got to take a really quick break. We'll be back here in about 2 minutes. Don't go away.
Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
All right, folks, welcome back. We are, believe it or not, we're just about out of time. We're going to have to take another really quick break here in about 2 minutes or so, but I just wanted to just kind of start wrapping things up a little bit. First of all, again, as a reminder, Evan Sayed has a new DVD coming out soon. Deplorable Mind will be available on Amazon. We will start putting out links all over the place once we know that it is going to be made available. Also, if you want to check out the work he's done before, he does have a book out on Amazon right now. Again, the name of that book is Kindergarten of Eden, How the Liberal Mind Works. I do encourage you to get that as well. I've read it. It's actually a great book. Actually, I'm about to buy a few more copies to give out as presents, probably for this coming holiday season, maybe even with a copy of that DVD as well. And again, just as a reminder, if you see somebody that is of a conservative ilk and they're working on a project of some kind, whether it is you investing your time, if they have a need of help and you have the talent that can assist them, or even if it's money or just buying their product, make sure that you find a way to support them. And in this instance, just to make sure we're clear, I'm not even talking about I'm not talking about the station right now. We have other folks that help us get things done, and if you like what we do, we have donation links all over the place. But that's not even what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about all of the other folks out there that I know are out there that put their heart and their soul and their sweat and their blood and their tears into what they think of as their passion and their ability to make a difference and to reach people. And we need to find a way to work together to bring those ideas to the forefront. The idea that conservatism is still the greatest idea of how this country should work, because it takes all of the best parts of what it means to be an American and brings them all to the forefront. The focusing on the Constitution, the greatest document ever written they're the founding governing documents of this country. And we have too many people that talk about wanting to throw them away. We don't need to throw them away. We need to embrace them. We need to remember what it was that brought those things about. The idea that we, the people, are free, that we are born free, that no one can take that away from us, that we are created equally, that we all have the same rights, the right to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. These are the things that matter. This is what matters to conservatives. This is why conservatism is important, because we have lost sight of all of these things, because we have become a state that are a group of people that in a lot of ways have become dependent on the state, and the state wants us dependent on them. That's why some of the things that Trump said during his first joint speech scare me, because in some ways he's talking about making sure that the government gets more control. I am not a big government conservative. I never have been, never will be. It's not going to happen. The smaller our federal government is, the happier that we are going to be. And that is some of what we need to get back to. But that's my whole point. We are the ones that tell everybody all the time we don't need the government to take care of us. That also should mean that we don't need ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, HBO, Showtime, Stars, all of the rest. We shouldn't need those type of platforms to push conservative ideals, because they don't really want them anyway. I mean, for God's sake, ABC has been putting out a mini-series called When We Rise that actually has documented some of the what they like to call the civil rights movement of the new millennium, which is the whole gay marriage situation, and the gay people are people too. Look, I get they're people too. And I'm not even trying to stay in anybody's bedroom. I don't care what you do behind closed doors. I really don't. But when it starts inundating my TV, I have a problem. I was reading a news story today that Disney, they're putting gay makeout scenes in cartoons for children. Why? I don't even want straight makeout sessions in cartoons, much less gay ones. Why is there going to be a gay character in Beauty and the Beast? And people wonder why it is that we're basically dragging our heels, kicking and screaming from these things that other people are blatantly and blindly calling progress. This isn't progress. This is insanity. We are embracing insanity. We now have a group of people calling themselves transabled because they think that they identify with being born disabled, and they will do whatever they need to do to make sure that they have whatever disability it is that they think they should have had in the first place. We have embraced insanity, and we're wondering how we got where we are and what we need to do to fix it. What we need to do to fix it. I could tell you what you need to do to fix it, but it's better that the guy that comes on at 6 o'clock in the morning tells you what you need to do to fix it, because I'm not supposed to preach. Granted, I used to. I actually was a lay pastor for a while and actually used to help out in a small church. So I do have my moments, but I try to refrain from them. Anyway, we have got to take another really quick break, because I kind of have to, because this one belongs to the network. So we'll be back here in about 2 minutes. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. That will unfortunately give us just about enough time to wrap things up. So, actually, no, I forgot. This one's mine, so this will be 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer. and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his book.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for, just about do it for this particular episode of America All For Us. I'll be back with you live tomorrow night for the Robinson and Wright show that airs every Friday night on KLRNradio.com. Starting at 11 p.m. Eastern. We actually do that one as a supersized edition, so it usually runs for 2 full hours. We'll actually have a couple of interviews that Dan did during CPAC. That's right, we turned him loose with the microphone for a while, too. And, of course, I will be back with you Saturday morning for the weekend review, which will probably cover some more of the CPAC scenario. And, of course, I'll be back again starting Monday night. So we've made it. Tomorrow's Friday. Take a deep breath. Enjoy the rest of your night. And remember that they've only got you for anywhere from 8 to 12 hours for tomorrow. And then hopefully you have a weekend. And if not, your weekend's coming. So stay strong. I'll see you guys when I see you. Take care. God bless. Good night.